Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Starkey, for joining. And we'll go to questions from the floor. Looks like Louis first up.
Mitch, obviously a win that you've kept your World Cup hopes alive, but did you feel like it was a bit of a missed chance to maybe get your net run rate up a little higher there?
Yeah, I guess you could look at that. First and foremost, we need to win these games. So we tick that box. I thought he batted quite well, and generally here at the Gabba in the night games, it's probably when the wicket's dry, it's generally a good chasing wicket. So, our power play was excellent, and we certainly put them on the back foot. I think they obviously tried to stay aggressive, and he batted quite well throughout the innings. So, to get we drag it back 1.2 or something like that. So, we'll wait and see what the result is tomorrow, and then we could be not having to worry about talking about net run rates. So, we certainly ticked that box today and won the game, and we move on to Adelaide now.
You finished up with 3 sub-fielders and a sub-captain, I suppose you'd say. How much did that kind of change the back end of that innings, and what do you kind of know about each of those 3 guys' injuries?
Not much. There's a bit of soreness around. I'm not sure. I guess we'll hear from the physios and the medical guys probably tomorrow. They're in good spirits. I don't know what's the extent or where everyone's placed. Obviously, they're off the field, so there's something going on there.
And just in terms of how that back end of the Island's run chase went, you've got a new captain on and different fielders and stuff. Was that jarring at all?
It was obviously different. Better to experience it now than in the finals. So. It was still, I guess, a little bit frantic while they were still striking the ball quite nicely. Probably changed a bit with obviously having Aaron off the field as probably what he was planning to do, and I'm not part of the messages or the conversations coming on off the field, so I couldn't tell you how that affected the guys who sort of ran the show there. But we come away with a nice win, plenty of positives, and we'll regroup and see where we're placed when we get to Adelaide.
We'll go to Dan and then over to Barat.
Mitch, obviously the first over you bowled double wicket made and got the ball swinging, so that's pretty much your sort of over off the drawing board. The gap between that and the other 3 overs, so I guess talk us through how good that one felt and the other 3.
Yeah, as I said, he played quite well. Made the use of the short boundary straight. He struck quite nice. Obviously, he moved around the crease a fair bit, keep coming at us. He's someone who plays that lap. Probably didn't get it in the right area enough to him. We also dropped him on about 30, so not sure it was a drop if you don't get a hand on it. But that's T20 cricket, isn't it? So we'll take that catch, and we could be sitting here talking about how we snuck back in the net run rate or whatever. But that's the nature of T20 cricket. It's pretty frantic, and some go your way, some don't.
And just the fact that I think, Pat certainly did Bernie got that one to swing a little bit, and then obviously when you came on it was still swinging. Is that pleasant difference from some of the other places and other nights that you might have the ball where it only swings for the first over?
Yeah, you've got to make the most of it when it's there. And we certainly did. It was a good power play. We have 5 in the power play, which is you jump at that if anyone offered that to you. So, that's a big positive. Obviously, a bit of movement in the air, which is generally the case here at the Gabba, with a bit of humidity around, and it's obviously been a bit warmer and a fraction drier than Melbourne and potentially Sydney. So, sadly, it's our only game here, so we'll see what conditions present us in Adelaide. Obviously, another night game there, and we'll see if there's any swing at training, and hopefully there is for us bowlers against Afghanistan.
And just, I suppose we're more used to hearing about the management and potential injuries with the quick bowlers. You guys all okay as opposed to that?
We'll be taking our tea time tomorrow.
Mitch, Aaron's been speaking about your different role this World Cup than usual, where you're bowling 3 in the middle and 1 at the death. Has it taken a while for you to just get used to it, and how does that work out for you?
It's obviously something new. I haven't. I generally take the first over and see if it's swinging. So tonight it did. It generally doesn't outside of the first 2 overs of the power play if it does swing. So it's a new role. It's obviously something that began in that game against England in Canberra. And it's sort of a role that Finchy and Ronnie want me to play through the middle there with Zampa. So obviously we've got Josh and Pat who are fantastic across formats with the new ball as well. I think that's a positive that we've got plenty of options that, you know, it may not be my only role, it may not be Josh and Pat's only role. We could change, as I said before, with different conditions, different opponents, whatever the matchups may be. So yeah, that seems to be my role at the moment, and I'll just keep developing that and hopefully keep playing that role throughout the tournament.
And with that role, are you bowling different lengths? Are you doing anything drastically different at all?
Yeah, it's probably had to change a little bit, particularly in the power play. I'm obviously someone who bowls a bit fuller than Pat and Josh, and that's probably a result of looking for that swing in the first over or two. With the ball probably not swinging at the back end of a power play, that obviously is going to have to adjust with conditions. Here at the Gabba, obviously somewhere where there's a little bit more bounce and pace. Likewise with Optus, generally a pretty good wicket in Adelaide, whereas somewhere like an SCG is not quite that same length. So yeah, again, it'll change with different conditions, different opponents. And then obviously the back end or the through the middle and the back. Through the middle has probably been more of the role's still trying to be aggressive and take wickets, and at the back end is obviously whether we're defending or we're trying to close out a game.
Do you think you'd prefer... Sorry, Mitchell.
Sorry, bright light.
Do you think you prefer to bowl at the top of the order, and if you've got a chance in the big games at the end of the tournament, if indeed you do make it, you know, that early order sort of hitman role, which you've built up a bit of a reputation at over the years?
Yeah, I don't think that the role changes in terms of trying to take wickets. It's just probably through a different sequencing of how the matchups are seen through the power play and through the middle. Yeah, the lengths probably have to change, and it's not, probably not going to swing outside, as I said, outside those couple of overs. So I still feel like the role is to take wickets, just at different times and through different partnerships with different matchups, I guess.
Back to Louis.
Yeah, what were the lessons for you? You talked about lengths, and you also mentioned the New Zealand game first up for you guys. What were the kind of lessons you had out of that, Mitch? And is any of this stuff you're talking about, related to what Finn Allen did? Yeah,
it's probably SCG's a slower, probably a deader, slower wicket. So it's probably somewhere where you're probably bowling more variations. And I think the Kiwis obviously did that when they bowled after us. They probably assessed those conditions through the first innings well and adjusted. So, and look, Finn had brought the game to us and struck it quite nicely. So you can't take that away from him. He came out and took the game on and came off. So, yeah, look, obviously there's a semi-final there. So if we were to get through, and that's where we do play a semi-final, there's lessons to be learnt from that first fixture. Again, it's New Zealand on our side, so of the draw. So if we both get through, we wouldn't play them until the final. So again, another different wicket where Melbourne the last 12 to 18 months has been a bit nippy and good for bowlers. So yeah, let's just get through Adelaide and hopefully through the finals, and then we'll again assess it where we sit in terms of whether it is an SCG game, and then we'll learn from that first fixture.
And you might know more after the England-New Zealand game tomorrow. Are you going to be watching it?
It's a travel day for us. I think we fly in the afternoon, so we might be on a plane while it's happening, which is generally the case, as all the teams are finding out with flights. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few keen eyes on that. And look, we'll see where we place tomorrow night. It could be another, I guess, more from you guys discussing net run rate. For us, it's just trying to win these games first and foremost, because if you don't win, it doesn't matter, does it? So yeah, look, a tick of the box today. We brought that run rate back a bit, and we'll see how we placed in 24 hours.